Hi everybody, Sandy Day again from Beyond School Bells. Today we're going to talk more about the content that we've created for you to use in your after-school programs. Remember that all of this content is absolutely free to you to use, and the only thing that we ask is that at the end of your use, if you wouldn't mind filling out a quick 5-question survey. The first 4 questions are just Likert 1 to 5 scale, this was fun, or this was easy to understand, or whatever. And then the last question is open-ended, asking you to give us any suggestions you might have, excuse me, to make a better product for us. Really appreciate your input because, I mean, you know, we can write it and we can think it's going to be good, but then you're the one implementing it, and if it turns out it's not and it needs to be adjusted, we should do that. Okay, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the environmental scavenger hunt. This is a science unit. In the unit, there are 8 lessons. Each of those 8 lessons, or topics, I guess you would say, have 3 lessons to them. And this was written, again, grades 3 to 8, but honestly, I'm telling you, it's easy to adjust. Any grade level you would want to use this with, I know it will work. So, well, without further ado, let's get into it. Let me start to share my screen here. And again, we'll see how close Sandy is to getting us in the right place. First time out. I did it. Cool. Oh, by the way, this is a really cool website, Acorn Naturalist. We are, as you know, we're trying to increase our outdoor lessons and those sorts of things. Was just looking for some supplies on this particular website. It's excellent. acornnaturalist.com. Okay, moving on. Let us get to, there we go. Okay, so I know I've said this multiple times, but I'll just say it again. I'm not exactly certain how you're going to get this content. It may simply be that I share my drive with you. And so you could go in here and download everything. It just kind of depends on timing. I know eventually all of this will be on Beyond School Bells' website. But again, during the short term, I'm not exactly certain how I'll get this to you. If you don't like to go through the shared drive, I could just put it on the thumb drive for you and ship it to you through US mail. So however you want to do that, that's groovy. All right, so the environmental scavenger hunt unit is here. Let's take a peek. As I indicated, there are 8 topics, and then each topic has those 3 lessons. So 8 times 3 is 24. So depending on how you would want to use this, I mean, I wrote it for an after-school enrichment club. So, you know, after you get past the getting your giggles and wiggles out if you're in person, having snack, washing hands and all of that sort of stuff, after the academic support component, this would be the hour of enrichment component. So that's how these were written, but you can modify them however you want to. Let's take a quick look at the overview, and you can kind of get an idea of what the topics are. So, and again, I don't like to read. It's like reading a PowerPoint, not good. But what you can see from, let's get to these first 6 topics. The first 6 topics, I mean, we had a dynamic group of kids on this design intensive studio. And I say kids, but they're college students. They just were, I mean, this was right up their alley. They came up with such great topics overall, and then the lessons that they created were absolutely fantastic. So here are the first 6 topics. Here are the last 2. Also in here, we listed out, because each one of these environmental pieces has a really deep and very rich opportunity to partner with your local community partners and regional partners and even statewide partners. So we thought we'd go ahead and write those up for you. Reminder, each lesson will have those standards at the bottom in the footer. Okay, groovy. Now, one of the things I wrote, sorry to make you dizzy, one of the things I wrote up here as a note to the site director / teacher, whoever's going to be using this, facilitator, whatever, topic number 7, a floral lesson, A, is called Plant My Socks. Now, just note to self, you may choose to do that one first, because depending on how many lessons you, or how often your club meets, how far down you'll get by the time you get to lesson A. But it's going to take about 30 days for a full blossoming pot. However, I mean, whenever you use this unit or this particular lesson, when they do this planting my socks lesson, and they'll continue to grow these plants that they collected on their socks. It'll take them, you know, into another club even to get to where they are. So to get actually full bloom. So that's why I noted up here that I'm being a little less optimistic. I'm saying 40 days for the seeds to actually bloom fully. I mean, they'll see them growing incrementally, but to have a full pot of weeds or whatever they turn out to be, it's going to take a few days. So I just want to make that note for you. In fact, let's go ahead and let's take a look at that particular lesson. It's one of my favorites. Okay, like all of the lessons that we write, we try really hard to start with an overarching question, and in doing that, we're trying to tap into prior knowledge, and you know how the best way to do that is to let the kids talk a little bit, virtual or in person, however it goes, and then we're going to go to an NET video. I think I have it even already up in the window. Anyway, a video in here that demonstrates exactly what's going to happen. Here's the activity. Here is the items needed. So in order to get to the movie, obviously you need a computer and internet, pair of old socks for each student, and we suggest that they make sure it's okay with mom. A pot to plant socks in, and dirt and water. Essentially, they're going to, with some, you're going to watch that short video and basically follow what the young animated character does. Excuse me. And that is, she puts on her socks and walks around her yard, or it could be the park, wherever you want to go to do this, and walk around next to plants, next to weeds, next to flowers, and they're going to notice that they're collecting something on the bottom of their socks. And so then they bring them back to class or wherever your outdoor activity is happening, and then they're going to plant them, put a little bit of dirt in the bottom of the pot, then the socks, then dirt on top, then water, and then they're going to need to check these pretty much every day to see if the soil's too dry. And you don't want to have it be muddy, of course, but you don't want it to be really hard. So it will take a few days, but you'll see, they'll start to see things happening at 10, 20, and 30, and at 40 days, it should be fully in bloom. Suggested that, you know, if we're still in session, it could be an upcoming family night, table decoration, I don't know, just a thought. Could be fun. Anyway, so that's one of the lessons within this particular topic. And as I indicated, there are a total of 8 topics here. Many of them have enrichment pieces where you could tweak a little thing and then you'd have the lesson all over again. Almost all of them ask for reflections at the end. And again, a lot of times reflections are kind of good to do, like, well, definitely do that day, but not a bad idea to touch base on it the very next day, especially if the very next lesson builds on what was previously done in the previous lesson. Okay, so that is the environmental scavenger hunt unit. I hope you enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to work with the students at UNL to create and then to modify when they were done. So if you have any questions of me, please note that you can email me. I am sday@nebraskachildren.org. If you already have an email from me, my email signature has my cell phone number and also my Zoom address. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time for any reason. I'm here for you. This is part of what I love to do, and that's to help folks solve challenges and get ready to serve kids. Talk to you soon. We'll see you next time.